Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to make your own PsyTrance kicks the tried and tested way. And we're going to be using Bazzism for this example. I'm just going to load it up here. This is Bazzism, B-A-Z-Z-I-S-M, and it's the second iteration. Google it and go buy it. It's a pretty excellent utility. And for the sake of education, learning, teaching, all that fun stuff, and a visual representation of what's going on, we're going to drop in LFO tool, which is also an excellent little utility plugin. I'll set that so there's no volume attached to that line there. I'm going to hit this LFO graph, which will graph out the kick as I play it. And I'm going to select a bar area, right click, insert MIDI clip, double click on that so I get my MIDI clip down here, and I'm going to set the fixed grid to a quarter note. Don't be afraid to pause and then, rewatch this. And I'm just going to double click to create my MIDI notes all the way through. So I actually can't see that because my big dumb face is in the way, but yeah, I have MIDI notes all the way through. So I'll hit play. We are at 145 BPM. Right, and we have something that resembles a kick going on. There's a few problems with it. It's not too PsyTrancey, so we're going to fix that. You can see the kick there. And what a kick is, in the PsyTrance realm at least, is a sine wave. And it's a sine wave that has a pitch envelope attached to it. So you have a start pitch, which is this F start pitch, which is 4,941 hertz, and then you have your end pitch, which is 58.9 hertz. This is okay. We'll start in reverse. The end pitch is the overall pitch of the kick, where it'll start at the start frequency and then end at the end frequency, and there's a bunch of options that'll dictate how fast that happens, and this will become more and more clear. We can change the end frequency, make it higher. Typically, you wouldn't have a kick higher than 90 hertz, but whatever. And we can have a nearly unaudible 20 hertz sine wave on that kick. What I would suggest that you do is find out the key of your track, or just decide to use the key of G. So we can hit this little note here, and we can actually tune. So like 49 hertz right there. We can actually tune the sine wave to fit in the key of the track or whatever we're working on. All right, so that's taken care of. So we have our start pitch, which we can have basically at 20 hertz or whatever. So it'll just, the kick will kind of turn into a sine wave burst or something like that. And then we can increase the start pitch, which will make these sine waves tighter and tighter at the beginning, which will in turn make it a bit more snappy. And as we go up, it'll become more and more apparent that, hey, that sounds like a PsyTrance kick. At least, ones from like the 90s and 2000s. All right, so you can max that out. It's at like 10K. Pretty cool. So with that done, this is just the basic thing. With that done, we noticed that it kind of ends abruptly here. It's too much of a sausage, as they say. So we can adjust. The. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We can adjust the sweep, how fast it takes for the sine wave to pitch down to our fundamental right here to the end. We can change that around. We can actually make it sound like this, which might be a little bit too intense, or we can bring it all the way down. I'll just kind of sweep it. Right, and we can, make the frequency more and more apparent with this slider. I'm actually going to turn polyphony off. Right, I can already hear that bass line underneath it. So from there, we can actually select the end, how long it lasts. And this is where an oscilloscope like LFO tool will come in handy, because I want to start at that line, right, with a little bit of a fade off, so my bass can come in later. that's about, yeah, 83.3 milliseconds, give or take. All right, that's good for the sake of example. So we have that, but it kind of ends too quickly. And what that's doing is that's creating a kind of a click at the end of the kick. We don't want that. Can you hear that? Right? Doesn't sound too good. We want the actual kick to decay over time, because it's still a sine wave, like just a burst of sine wave. There's no volume envelope on it. So we'll set the decay to slowly shave it off. You'll see it up here, right? Which makes the kick kind of not, it makes the kick sound a bit more round. Right, hear the difference? We could do all sorts of stuff, like we can change the decay type, a mixture of linear and exponential. We can go all the way linear, all the way exponential, or like a mixture in between to adjust the shape. There's also an easier and better way to adjust the shape, which we'll get into maybe in a later video. I'm actually going to make this a tiny bit longer. There you go. So that's your basic kick. You can adjust the envelope of it if we'd so desire. And that way, you know, you get more of a snappiness at the beginning. We can kind of round out this area, make this a bit louder. Maybe bring down the overall volume. You can actually see it occurring here. And then from there, we'll go to main. We'll increase the distortion a bit. There you go. Okay, that is basic kick drum creation. Hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.